On August 2, 1963, 4-year-old Bobby Pankman, his 2 older brothers and their parents set off for a camping resort on Deep Lake in Washington state. The next day, Mrs. Pankman, named Edna, decides to take her sons down a logging road behind their campsite to see a beautiful waterfall she had heard about. Edna gets the boys ready, bids farewell to Mr. Pankman, and sets off down the overgrown and rocky logging road, realizing it hasn't been used in a long time due to its isolated location. So, as they walk along the overgrown logging road, they notice a turnoff leading to the water and the little waterfall. Edna sees that they'll have to walk through a lot of brush, and the ground looks rough. Bobby, her youngest at 4 years old, isn't wearing shoes due to a phase he's going through. While it hasn't been an issue until now, it seems like too much for him to walk on. Edna instructs Bobby to wait on the road, and she tells her other son, Jimmy, who is 6 years old, to wait next to him. Edna and Bill, her 10-year-old son, would venture past the brush down to the water to check it out for a couple of minutes. Then Edna planned to return, pick up Bobby, and have Jimmy come along as they all went to see the water. Bobby didn't seem to mind waiting, so he sat on the road, and Jimmy, although a bit frustrated, sat down too. The distance between where Bill and Edna were and where Bobby and Jimmy waited was only about 10 feet. In between them there was some brush blocking their view, but they were still very close. Jimmy, growing more impatient, desired to join his mom and older brother at the waterfall. Finally succumbing to his impatience, Jimmy left Bobby and navigated through the brush to reach Bill and Edna. Edna, displeased to see him, reprimanded him for abandoning Bobby. After about a minute, they returned, only to discover that Bobby was nowhere to be found when they came back. Jimmy departed from Bobby and made his way through the brush to join Bill and Edna. Upon seeing him, Edna expressed her disapproval and scolded him for leaving Bobby behind. After approximately a minute, they retraced their steps, only to find that Bobby was missing upon their return. In the beginning, the family didn't entertain the idea of Bobby being abducted because of the area's remoteness and isolation. They thought Bobby might have strayed nearby and started searching while calling out for him. Panic hadn't set in initially, but Edna was frustrated with Jimmy for leaving Bobby alone. As they scoured the area and Bobby remained unresponsive, they gradually grasped the gravity of the situation. Edna's panic intensified as she called out loudly for her son, urging her other sons to join the search. Despite their concerted efforts, there was no trace of Bobby. The baffling disappearance of a 4-year-old without shoes puzzled them all. After a few tense minutes, Edna gathered her other sons and hurried back to the campsite to inform Mr. Penguin and contact the police. A comprehensive search operation was swiftly launched along the logging road. Despite the thorough investigation conducted by the authorities, the disappearance of Bobby remained a perplexing enigma. The absence of any discernible clues and the commonplace nature of the surroundings only served to compound the mystery. Edna and her family were consumed by anguish, grappling with the incomprehensible reality of Bobby's inexplicable disappearance from what seemed like a secure and familiar environment. With each passing moment, hope dwindled, leaving the community enveloped in uncertainty and apprehension. The search for Bobby intensified over the course of 3 days, with authorities scouring the area in all directions in hopes of finding any sign of him. When traditional search efforts yielded no results, they enlisted the help of a dog. After scenting one of Bobby's shoes, the bloodhound immediately picked up his scent and followed it along the logging road, deep into the forest for nearly 2 miles without hesitation. This indicated that the dog had indeed detected Bobby's presence. The search conducted by the dog led to a fork in the road, situated roughly 2 miles away from where Bobby vanished. Although the dog honed in on a barren patch of dirt at the fork, no substantial evidence was uncovered. Despite exhaustive endeavors, no hints regarding Bobby's whereabouts emerged, leading to the discontinuation of the search after 7 days. The lead investigator theorized that Bobby might have been abducted considering his tender age, shoeless condition, and the short time he was out of sight. The notion of Bobby's abduction raises questions about the feasibility of such a scenario in the remote and isolated setting where he disappeared. For someone to have snatched Bobby away within the short window of opportunity, they would have had to possess exceptional stealth and agility. Moreover, The perpetrator would have needed to have been closely observing the family's movements, anticipating the precise moment when Bobby would be left unattended. The lack of any conspicuous signs of struggle or disturbance in the area further complicates the theory of an abduction. Additionally, the absence of any witnesses or evidence pointing to human involvement leaves investigators grappling with the enigmatic circumstances surrounding Bobby's disappearance. While the possibility of foul play cannot be ruled out entirely, the mystery surrounding Bobby's fate persists, leaving his family and the community haunted by unanswered questions and unresolved fears. The prolonged search for Bobby underscored the profound uncertainty and emotional turmoil that gripped both his family and the community. Despite relentless efforts and extensive investigations, the mystery surrounding his disappearance persisted, intensifying the anguish and distress of those involved. The absence of substantial clues or tangible leads further compounded the frustration and deepened the sense of helplessness among Bobby's loved ones. Each passing day without any sign of Bobby fueled a sense of desperation and sorrow, casting a shadow of uncertainty over the entire community. The unresolved nature of Bobby's disappearance left lingering questions and haunting uncertainties that reverberated through the collective consciousness. In the face of such profound adversity, the resilience and determination of Bobby's family and the unwavering support of the community stood as testament to the enduring strength of the human spirit in the face of inexplicable tragedy. Despite exhaustive investigations and speculative theories, Bobby's disappearance remains shrouded in mystery. The lack of tangible evidence and the absence of any credible leads have left investigators at a dead end. The circumstances surrounding Bobby's vanishing act defy logical explanation, as they seem to suggest the involvement of an elusive and intelligent entity capable of evading detection. The community, gripped by fear and uncertainty, grapples with the haunting questions surrounding Bobby's fate. The unresolved nature of the case serves as a sobering reminder of the unpredictable and unfathomable aspects of life, leaving Bobby's loved ones and the community yearning for closure and answers that may never come. The community was left grappling with the unsettling mystery of Bobby's disappearance, with speculation and theories circulating among residents. Despite the efforts of law enforcement and search teams, the absence of concrete evidence only deepened the sense of bewilderment. Families in the area became more vigilant, keeping a closer watch on their children and surroundings. The unresolved case cast a shadow over the peaceful community, reminding everyone of the unpredictability and dangers that lurk even in familiar settings. As time passed, Bobby's story became a cautionary tale, serving as a reminder to cherish loved ones and remain vigilant in safeguarding against unforeseen threats. Yet the truth behind Bobby's disappearance remained elusive, leaving a haunting void in the hearts of those who knew him, and a lingering sense of unease in the community.